Hi guys, welcome to the Broken Grapplers Academy.
I've been adamantly defending deadlifts all week. Everyone's been asking me about why my back's fucked and I've had to just lie. Well, there's not a lie, I did do it mowing the lawn, but I'm sure deadlifts have had a decent contribution to it.
Yeah, possibly.
Accumulation, so I'm adamantly defending weightlifting as hard as I can.
It's like the old saying, strong people are hard to kill.
Yeah,
until they get injured.
Easy to injure them. Oh, honestly, mate, the amount of people I've been going to training and just sitting there and watching the class and help some people out, give shit to some other people, and everyone's coming up to me, like all the people who I usually beat up are coming calling me out. I'm like, I'm fucking injured, what do you want?
It's like, this is our perfect opportunity.
Exactly, I just be like, listen mate, I'll remember.
Yeah.
When it gets back to normal, I'll remember all of this.
So Ross was saying that he saw you and he goes, like one just gone like this. I look like when he walked in I was like, oh shit.
Did that happen? When was that?
I think it was last week, like Thursday or would have been Thursday or Tuesday with the white collar.
Must have been, but I wasn't in on either of those days.
You know, he said that he saw
yeah,
you.
It must have been one day in the week. Did he must have been on Monday or Wednesday, right?
Possibly, yeah. He said that he saw you and he was like, he just said, your back's man.
Yeah, I'm injured. Massive and injured. I'm just trying to get on the Galvao hammock and get as big as I can.
That's it. Just get on the old orange juice and
Acai.
yeah.
Jesus juice and acai.
Did you hear about what Matt's doing for, do you know, the nicknames for the guys doing the white collar if they've like already got some training experience where he goes, your coach has to pick your nickname. So I was like, I'm not good at this kind of stuff. So I put it to Hive and I was like, create a poll in the Facebook group. And the top two choices are the Prowler and anything for the gram.
The Prowler, that sounds, I mean, like, depends what sort of way you look at it, that sounds a bit creepy, that. what relevance has the Prowler got for anything?
Well, Jerry was trying to think of, because I was like, it's got to be 12 eggs, we can't have like really inappropriate things blurted across this whole system. And literally setting up circuits for the comp class, and I was like, right, one round of the Prowler, and Jerry goes, that's it!
The Prowler.
The Prowler! Everyone was like, yep, and it's like steamrolling every other.
What's his surname?
Townsend.
So it'd be Ross the Prowler Townsend. Sounds like he's got a conviction and he's on some sort of list.
And he's saying if he raises 100 quid for you just giving, he's gonna shave his hair, keep his moustache. And I was like, I'll make it happen. We'll make it happen.
Definitely get on the register with that. I'm sure we can make that happen in a week. So how long's he got for training? Is it 8 weeks or 12 weeks with the
I think it's 8
stuff?
weeks, so it's December 18th.
Alright, okay, so it's like a couple of weeks before Christmas.
Mm.
Interesting, aren't they, the white collar stuff, because you get a lot of people who've got some experience doing something. It's never just like complete beginners, and it's probably a good thing that he's got more experience in grappling beforehand, because like you can't really learn too much effective for a fight in 8 weeks. I think they teach them like guillotine and rear naked choke, which is not
quite effective.
Well, what's going to happen? Somebody's going to shoot a crappy double leg, and you're probably going to end up with a guillotine.
Yeah.
Or you're going to have them inside control, and they're going to panic and give you the back, and then you've got your rear naked choke.
Yeah.
So
he's sort of going in there because I think he's already been told who, or he's sort of figured out who he may be sort of going against because of weight divisions and stuff. Yeah. And he's kind of like, I wouldn't say game planning, but he's kind of like keeping an eye. And
it's weird because you're training with the guy that you're going to fight with eventually at the end, and you both know it. So
it's hard not to game plan.
It is, isn't it? And it's for charity and it's a bit of fun, but at the end of the day, you're getting in a ring or a cage
punch in the face.
and you're fighting. And it's like, when you go to an inter club and they say it's 80%, there's no such thing as 80%. That's just to cover the person's back.
Yeah.
Because the first shot that comes out hard and it's on them. It's good fun. Yeah. The charity events always sell out better than the amateur shows, which is crazy, and it's a good do because it's always black tie as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So I've got to try and find an actual tie and shirt that fits me now. So
I had to get a new suit for a funeral a couple of months back. It kind of fuck fit in a normal suit. I had to get one. Going.
Just gonna get jogging bottoms, suit jacket,
spray it all black. Honest to God, I had to go like 3 sizes up.
Oh wow.
And then, like, I was wearing my dad's suit. It wasn't quite that bad, but I don't know who these suits are supposed to fit. It's like when you go into shopping as well and see extra large, and it's like skin tight, and you're like, if I'm tight in an extra large, who the hell's wearing a medium?
Yeah. Like, that's one reason why I never shopped in Topshop, because it's made for rakes.
Yeah.
Like, I would not fit in a t-shirt, joggers, jeans, anything from that shop. So I was like, just crossed it off the list.
Basically, what anybody can take away from this podcast is that we're both overweight and we're both injured.
Yeah.
And there's no correlation whatsoever. What were you telling me beforehand in actual MMA grappling news? Galvao.
Before we get to that, I've got one more. I saw this yesterday, and I was going to send it to you, but I was just about to drive, so I was like, I'll send it to him when I get home. Did you see the Polish MMA event where they had like an intergender fight?
No.
And it looked like just 2 untrained individuals. The girl went in there, she looked like she was ready for a fight. The guy was there, and it looked like he was just there for Instagram. Like, legit had superhero war paint painted on his face. In between rounds was redoing his makeup. And, like, no word of a lie, the punches were like this.
From the guy?
From the guy.
Could the girl strike?
No.
No.
She couldn't even take down the poster.
Was there any context behind it, or was it just, were they like YouTubers or something?
I don't know. Like, when I saw the fight, I was kind of like, that's enough internet for the day, and then turned it off.
That was it?
That was it. But like, it was bad. Like, I saw there was a breakdown video of it, and one of the guys had the great sort of analogy for how the girl took him down. Do you remember Rhino from Spider-Man?
Yeah.
And he just head charged into buildings. That was her takedown, but then I'm pretty sure he gripped all of her hair and just hip tossed her over his hip.
So she basically blast doubled him with no arms.
Yeah.
I'm just getting this video. I'll see if we can put it on and I'll get away with it, because this is another great talking point as well. So she just blast doubled him and basically tried to take him down with a spine.
And then got hip tossed.
Yeah.
And then I think he finished with the TKO with strikes from Mount.
Were they the same weight at least?
I think so. Like,
I kind of want to see it.
See, it's a perfect example of how not to do MMA. And, like, part of me felt really uncomfortable about a guy hitting a woman, but then when I actually saw the power and just the way he was striking and how bad it was, I was like,
yeah, this is fun.
Yeah, this. Not saying it's acceptable, but
he's in more danger of hurting himself here.
Yeah, pretty much.
Speaking of hip tosses, I think one of the greatest hip tosses that I've seen executed in any match is Craig Jones when he hits that hip toss. I can't remember who it's against, but it's just such a lovely fucking takedown. Ties up the over-under, and then I'll try and find it in a minute, but on the topic of ridiculous shit on the internet, I sent Si this video this week, and we've oftentimes on here talked about how people complain about people being too strong as a thing, and how people don't get away with being too flexible. Nobody goes, oh bro, you're too flexible. Let's see if we can put this on, and it just comes up. Let's see if we can just get that lined up there. So let's see if we can get that one. The guy's basically in the banana split position and then inverts out of the back.
Like, it's ridiculous. Like, oh, you're too strong, bro. Tone down your strength. Tone down your flexibility then.
I think he actually gets a heel hook off the back of it, but the setup here is ridiculous. He's like in the splits, and then he's like having a bit of a chill out, and then decides that he can duck out of the back. I think my spine would have shot across the room at that point.
And the rest.
But actual decent grappling stuff, we were talking before we started recording, you were letting me know that Galvao's signed the contract with 1FC.
Yeah, so he's we watched the video before his announcement, and it's 6 fights over 3 years, and he said that he plans to try and get them all done within 2. We spent a lot of time trying to figure out what weight division he'd be in.
Yeah.
I think we were speculating a middleweight, weren't we?
He's got a fine middleweight, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a big guy. He's got to be. We were guessing he's somewhere between 95 and 100 walk around weight, which realistically means he's coming down to middleweight.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I think light heavyweight's 95 kilos.
But then again, the one MMA's weigh-in protocol, you might not be able to cut.
What is it on? Do they have an on the day weight?
It's that you get weighed throughout the camp, though, and you get the on the day as well as the day before, so you can't cut water and rehydrate.
That's interesting.
So it could be the reason why he opted for that.
So maybe, well, I mean, if he is walking around at 100, or 95 to 100, light heavyweight, if their divisions are the same, I think 205 pounds works out at being 95 kilos.
Something like that,
somewhere around about there. So, I mean, if it's walking around weight, he never really looks out of shape, does he?
No.
I'm sure he could cut a little bit of water weight for the fight, but it's not like he's one of these guys who balloons up with fat in between.
No.
He definitely balloons up. And what are the testing protocols in 1FC for Asahi?
That's assuming there are, isn't it?
Yeah, probably encouraged.
Yeah, I remember watching, there's a fight with Ben Askren years ago where it was like, I think the guy landed a groin shot, and it was the one where Askren looked seriously in trouble, and it looked like a heavyweight fighting Askren, and it's like, yeah, there's some probably testing discrepancies here.
Imagine it came out that Askren was on gear. He's like...
I think I find that quite hilarious, especially after Snoop Dogg's comment of him looking like a bag of milk.
He's just got, I'm going to defend Askren here, he's one of those body types that's got big hip bones.
Yeah.
And he's probably got a bit of fat over the top of that, but he's just one of those guys who's got big hips, but he's fat as well.
I think it's like they say though, like Fedor was the ideal body type for fighting. Askren's just pretty much a lighter version of that.
Yeah, Fedor, DC.
Yeah. Roy Nelson.
What's that dude who just fought this weekend? The black guy.
Spinning wheel kick.
Yeah, I think he's cool.
Oh my.
He fights in Asia, doesn't he? Before he moved over to the UFC.
So.
Spinning wheel kick to the head and then celebrates with a front flip.
Flip straight onto your ass.
I don't know what his name is. He's bigger than DC, or he's got a similar body type, hasn't he? But he's like more overweight.
I can't think. I could have literally got shown that wheel kick last night, and I was like watching him.
He's essentially Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, pretty much. Especially the way he moved like that.
Yeah.
Like the way he landed that, and what is he, like 24 stone? Imagine that heel.
That is big dude.
Whipping you in the side of the head.
It's got to be very surprising for the guys who are fighting him to come up against somebody who can move like that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, really, like, you know, who can move like that? Who's that sort of size? Nobody.
There's a third. Like moves like Adesanya and weighs the same as Ngannou.
I mean, it was as nice. It wasn't even a sloppy head kick. It was like Barbosa style execution. It was nice.
Yeah. Perfectly timed as well.
And it's not like it wasn't a weird one-off thing, because he does it in any of his previous highlights that I've seen of him. He's like super flash and just looks like he's having a good time with it.
Yeah.
Always busts out some breakdancing or something.
He's in there just to have fun.
Yeah, he's cool.
It's brilliant.
I seen a little clip of him giving some flowers to the ring girl one time. She got all her like shit. But the 6-fight contract's just for MMA fights, isn't it? It's not for grappling. Or is it grappling?
Sure, I think it's I saw the headline where it's grappling and MMA.
Right.
My theory on this is they're gonna him and Gordon are gonna fight in one, and regardless of the result, they're gonna have the fight again in the ADCC. But financially it makes a lot more sense to fight in one because you're going to get paid more for that fight rather than just a 40k, and not like saying just 40k as if it's like a small amount of money, but comparatively to what they could be earning elsewhere, it is a rather small amount of money.
Do you think they do? What did they do first? Because the ADCC is going to be next year, isn't it? It's 2022. Yeah. I mean, you can't imagine, and that's going to be summertime, isn't it?
Yeah.
When's ADCC normally? So let's just say it's July. It's nearly December now. He's not going to be doing anything in the first 3 months of the year for one. So
I don't know, because like I say, he's never out of shape. So, and it wouldn't surprise me if he's already been doing a lot of striking and MMA training prior to signing the contract.
Or the other thing that I'd be surprised if they put him and Gordon as the first fight and didn't like build something up a little bit. But if it's going to be, it depends whether it's going to be a grappling or an MMA match, his first match, doesn't it?
Wouldn't mind seeing the grapple MMA style fight.
Because they're not shy of doing different weight divisions in grappling in one championship. Because Lachlan's done that as well.
Oh, has it?
Yeah, I think previously he's done that where he's had a grappling match against somebody of a different weight. Gary Tonin did it before he started transitioning fully into MMA. They had a couple of warm-up grappling matches. But don't forget as well that Galvao's got MMA experience. He's been a competitor, like an active competitor as well.
We've 5-2, wasn't he?
We've discussed it before on the podcast, haven't we?
Yeah.
How old is he?
He's got to be 40 now, I think.
Think he's that old?
Yeah, I think. I remember hearing Hinga talk about it, where I think Hinga's like 38, 39, and Galvao's 40. I mean, he's probably going to the right place for him to retire off if he wins a title there.
39.
39. Like, he doesn't seem to be slowing down.
How the hell's Gary Tonin still 30 years old?
He's probably turned off his age, and he's sort of like, I'll be 30 once, 30 twice, 33 times.
So Galvao's 39. They've still got him listed on Wikipedia as being 77 kilos. I think somebody needs to update that.
Oh man.
But that should be good. Like, I mean, I don't know whether I'd rather. I think honestly, I'd rather watch. I want to watch them fight each other MMA, but I want to watch the grappling match as well. I think I'd rather them do the ADCC first.
Yeah.
And then they could have a grappling rematch in one, and then it'd probably make good sense to have an MMA fight.
Yeah, I think
Gordon's going to need some MMA experience, like warm-up fights.
I can't see him take it going MMA. If I'm honest with you, I know he keeps talking about it, but that, as we both know, getting punched in the face is very different to grappling somebody.
And the other thing as well is if he's got still any lingering issues with his stomach, if he's going to do any sort of cut for these things, that might can really handle a full training camp.
Yeah.
And the cutting associated with that.
And is he going to be able to withstand an Overeem style body kick like what Lesnar received?
This makes me sick every time I think about that.
Yeah.
I do love Overeem though.
Yeah.
I think Overeem might be one of my favourite MMA fighters of all time.
Yeah, I think especially if you look at his whole career, like, because when he came to the UFC, I think he'd missed the boat to be sort of groundbreaking in the UFC. Like, his Pride career was amazing, and when he signed UFC, almost as if he kind of like took his foot off the gas a little bit.
Off the juice.
Off the juice, yeah, off the juice.
A little bit. Well, that's got to be a big influence on the way that he changed his style, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's weird, isn't it, to have somebody who's got such a big legacy in the sport, but not actually, they developed all that legacy before they came into the UFC. I think it's weird as well to think like how old I am now, that a lot of the people who are watching UFC consistently week in, week out have probably never even watched Overeem's old fights.
Or even heard.
Yeah. I probably just think he's some old dude.
Yeah. And like those who've seen keeps leaving me. Trains at Jackson Wink. Always has the fangs in his mouth guard, heavyweight. Arlovsky, yeah. Like, newer fans will probably be looking at him as just an old timer, whereas go back to his. What was the event that was sponsored by the energy drink? It was like the one where he fought Fedor, and he was leathering him around the ring.
Yeah.
And I think Fedor just had some really good rope dope, and he come for this jumping strike. Fedor just turned around, just landed while he was midair, sparked.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that match.
Like, really worth watching. It was, I can't remember the name of the event now, but it was sponsored by I think it was sponsored or it was put together by the energy drink that, not Monster, not Red Bull.
Is it that Gorilla one?
No, it's still like a bit of an old, it's got like a brownie, dark grey tin.
Oh, it's not like Relentless or
That's the one, Relentless, yeah.
I don't drink energy drinks.
No.
This is how well the marketing has got me. Yeah, but it's interesting, isn't it? Just like seeing grappling guys want to make a transition into MMA. It's hard to learn striking if you've not done. It's hard to have fluid striking if you've not grown up doing it.
Yeah, true.
I mean, you could probably make the same argument for grappling, but I feel like the grappling that you probably need for MMA is a lot less. There's a little bit less finesse for it.
Yeah, like, as long as you can take down, stay on top, but then you've got the players like Diaz, where he'll play off his back. Ferguson, you'll happily play off his back and start throwing elbows.
Yeah.
Incidents like Silva versus Sonnen, getting beat up for the whole 5 rounds. Last minute triangle, takes the match.
It'll be gutted for Sonnen in that match, haven't you?
Like, heartbroken. There was part of me that was sort of like, Sonnen's got to win this just because he's all the talk and all the build up. And then there was part of me that's gone like, Silva's legacy is here. So it's like, it's one of them ones where he's purely on the fence.
Well, again, it's like speaking about older guys doing it. Glover Teixeira got the title, didn't he? In the heavyweight?
Light heavyweight.
Light heavyweight.
Yeah,
which is cool and crazy, considering how long he's been around and who he's fought.
I think that division's going to be in a bit of a turmoil now until they get like a couple of...
You can't see somebody kind of retaining the belt for a long time.
No.
Which they never really do in the heavyweight or the light heavyweight. But it's like...
I don't know, because you do get... Yeah, and... Was it... Couture kept it for a little while. Like, you I think the light heavyweight needs that influx of new fighters where it could be any of the top 6, and because of how good they are, not because of how shallow the pool is.
Yeah. The divisions go in phases, don't they? I remember we were talking about this, about the middleweight division from like back in the day where it was Weidman, Silva, Rockhold, Bisping, Kennedy. That's my favourite division to watch, Jacare.
Yeah.
But it'd be good to see some good MMA guys, good jiu-jitsu guys start transitioning into the sport as well, but who have got some effective striking.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to sort of see how that comes through. But like, going back to the Galvao announcement, on his video he sort of went through the list of who's from ATOS is in the ADCC. You've got Torres at 77, Hinger and Barboza at 88, Kanan 99. I think Rule told us will be in the 66.
Is Kanan doing the plus 99 or under 99?
I think it's under. But we were talking before, like...
Did you say Barboza was 88?
88, yeah.
Because he competed in under 99 in Gordon's bracket last time, didn't he?
Yeah.
So that must have been quite a weight disadvantage for him then. And that was probably the best match in that bracket.
Oh, 100%. I think it would be interesting seeing Barboza versus Diniz, if that happens. Don't really want to see Hinger Diniz again. Want like sort of two guys that are fighting for that top position.
So who's there left in the plus 99 then?
Nicky Rod, Cyborg. Don't think they've got any ATOS guys in the plus 99.
No, they've got to wheel Orlando Sanchez out.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to bleed.
Oh, like there's gonna be mops at the ready. Like, who do you think takes it this year? Because I don't think they're gonna allow Gordon to compete in the tournament. So I think it's anyone's game at the moment. I can't see K-Land winning it. There's too many holes in his game.
The absolute.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you would say Kanan, except for the fact that he seems to get leg locked quite a lot. I don't know, it's hard not to say one of the ATOS guys, just because they've got so many stat guys in the divisions. But you've always got to be favouring those heavier divisions, haven't you?
Yeah.
For a likelihood chance of winning. So who's plus under 99 and plus 99, who are the most likely guys to win from that?
You got Buchach as a possibility if he's in it. I think Nicky Rod could be a good contender. Craig Jones could be his year.
Yeah.
I also, part of me is thinking Barbosa could do it. And is Galvao, if Barbosa wins the absolute, is that going to be time for Galvao to bow out and almost pass the torch to another ATOS guy?
Could be a good shout. If part of me wants to see Craig and Diniz, but I really don't want to see it again.
No, it's the same fight. Diniz trying to pass, Craig retaining, Diniz trying to pass, Craig retaining.
And then Diniz
not
wins
much
all
happening.
points.
Yeah.
It'd be a shame if that match comes up again, but you've got to think that if Craig is going to win the division or the absolute, that he's going to have to come up against him somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know, yeah, Nicky Rod's probably not a bad shout. I'm not really seeing him compete that much in the past couple of months.
No.
Since he's been focusing on opening the school. Nicky Ryan's
I don't think he'll
not active at the moment, is he?
No, but then he's still got, say his knee's recovered by early Jan, he's going to have 7 or 8 months to...
Imagine the dirties going across the mat with Danaher.
Yeah.
Just giving stink eye to everybody.
That'll be an interesting match, that Tonin versus Nicky Ryan.
Yeah.
And sort of seeing how that pans out.
Yeah, yeah.
And do you reckon Gordon's there in Gary's ear going, break his knee for me, go on. He wants to try and leave us.
It's a weird dynamic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because, they were the Danaher Death Squad and now they're definitely going to be fighting against each other.
Yeah. Will be really interesting play. Because I really can see Galvao retiring from the ADCC this year, especially MMA fight deal. Because last time he fought MMA, his grappling credentials dropped quite a bit.
Yeah, so which is why I think it'd be good for him to get the ADCC out of the way first.
Yeah.
Before he can then focus on that, because it's kind of all consuming, isn't it? If you fight in MMA, you've got to put a lot of focus on it. But then also the other thing that we were kind of picking apart from what he was saying in his announcement was that he wants to branch out ATOS into the Asian market.
Yeah.
And expand the school and the business over there as well, which again is interesting because I don't know how ATOS work it with their kind of franchise and run the business, but who's the big name out there that's gonna run it or try and ignite the interest for ATOS over there?
He may just send one of the black belts over there, like especially if he's due to the time difference, he may end his fight camp in Asia.
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to fly out Barbosa, he's going to fly out Kanan, he's going to fly out his sort of top black belts. Adesanya, he'll have over to help him coach his striking.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking as well, I think I've heard a couple of times on the Matt Byrne podcast that Hinger has lived over in Asia for extensive periods of time in the past.
That would actually make a lot of sense, especially with how multilingual he is. He could quite easily teach over there, and he could probably create a bit of a storm because he's been coaching kids there at ATOS for quite a while.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's not experienced coaching. And in the latest episode where we were talking about the way to make money in grappling is to open a club up.
Yep.
It was something that he's like on the fence about saying whether he's interested or not in it. Yep. So that I think that could be the move that happens.
It'd be interesting where they could put it as well, because they could almost turn it into one of those clubs that's like not only got a solid hub of guys that train there all the time, but like a bit of a destination training thing, like in Thailand. Depends where they decided to put it, but you could put it in like Singapore or somewhere like that and have it as a bit of a destination training camp.
It would make a lot, because you can sort of see why Galvao's taking this one contract. Like, if he wants to open an Asian club, he needs to appeal to the Asian fight fans, and one has one of the biggest markets over there. So go over there, open a club up, get a few fights, get quite a few fans, pull people into the club.
Yeah, good move.
Smart business move.
Cool. Anything else?
Make sure that you subscribe, like, comment. Well, my brain went absolutely blank.
Anything else though? Wrap it up. go and get everything up on social media, Instagram and YouTube and everything, because I don't know, we like reading the comments when people give us shit.
Yeah.
I read the comments when people give us shit more than telling us like how good the video was.
Yeah, true.
and then Simon can get irate about it.
When we are not injured, we will be putting up different content. That's the plan.
Yeah, we put up on social media through the week like some what would you like to see from us from content in the future, and rolling with some of it, so we'll be trying to get some of that up on there. Some of the issue with match breakdowns, like I know a couple of people asked for that, it's a pain in the arse for YouTube.
And copyright
for the copyright issues.
We've had loads of strikes and we do risk getting the channel taken down.
We've done, like, we spent a lot of time doing videos before and put them up, and YouTube's basically just like banned 90% of the video.
Yeah.
So it's just the intro, dark screen for 40 minutes and then us doing the outro.
I think we may try and find a way around it. Obviously there are ways around it, but the big matches that we'd want to cover, like Flow, are on it for taking down copyright stuff. That's why I think we've managed to keep the Ultimate Morris matches that we put up and a few other ones that we've kept up. But there are a lot of others where we've just, as soon as it's uploaded, straight away it's taken down. So we will try and find a way around it. But yeah, make sure you leave us some comments and feedback, and we'll be putting out some more content pretty soon.